Alright guys, so in this live stream I'm gonna react to a video from whatever.com and it's dating talk number 23 episode. So yeah, we are gonna react to the part where they're talking about what do you bring to the table. So yeah, it'll be an interesting video hopefully. I think I'll be able to share some of the ideas that I have as for what should you bring to the table, or maybe they're right, I don't know exactly. So yeah, let's see what they're bringing to the table, and let me just play the video. Okay, I'll just hold on, let me just share the screen. And before we start reacting to this video, I just want to remind you to hit the like button, share this video with your friends and family, and definitely hit the subscribe button as well.
And just trust in general and like be a good person. But I think I'm just still working on everything. I think I'm like a work in progress, so I'm kind of every day I kind of just try to be a better version of myself. I think that's what I bring.
As I've mentioned before, I've never been in a relationship, so I don't actually
have no clue
experience with this.
Never been in a relationship. Oh yeah, your longest one was 2 years, or sorry, 2 months.
2 months.
2 months.
Yeah, just like talking stages. So.
And are you a sophomore at UCSB?
I am.
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean.
I think that's your peak year. Like, if you're not investing yourself into finding somebody right now, then when you're gonna do it? Like 30? Most men who are successful will take the L, like when they will hear that you are 30 years old, because back of their mind they have this idea that okay, she lost 50% of her eggs, therefore she is less likely to have a child with me. So yeah, like you are not gonna find the high value man at that time. So yeah, like try to get married to somebody who is successful at a young age, because it will give you much more room to like grow with somebody, as well as will allow you to be somebody who will be a role model for the next generation. Because a lot of people are making these mistakes right now, have one child and then somehow they die in a car crash, and then they're miserable because you just have one child. And I suggest you to have like at least two.
But I feel like if I were to, I feel like.
And if you are if you are getting married to somebody after 30, that will be a big problem.
Mature about.
I mean, I'm not saying like it will be like depending on your choice, but at the end of the day, a lot of people would want at least like 2 or 3 children. So yeah, like it also depends on your choice. But if you are going to your 40s or 50s without child, you're gonna have hard time. Maybe you will not, but a research paper shows that they're much more miserable. They think of self-deleting themselves. So there's a lot of things comes to the mind, and you never know, like you'll be in that situation. If you want to go through that life, then it's your choice. I don't know.
All things I feel like I can be like, I mean, one big thing I have is like communication. So it's like
one big thing I have is communication. Actually, to man it doesn't matter if you are communicating with them or not. It's more like what you are doing. Man, for men, like masculine men, your action matters. Like who are ultra successful, your action, like what you do on a regular basis. If you talk BS all the time, oh yeah, I'm just trying to be connected with you and stuff like that, yeah, that could be fine for a lot of guys. But who are ultra masculine, they're like conquering the world on a daily basis, and they're making sure that everything is fine, right? So what they're gonna expect from you is that you do things like cook and clean and make sure you're not giving them the headache. So like maybe through communication you can give them headache. So that's kind of a thing you should be worried about. And yeah, like if you're cooking and cleaning, they'll be like, oh damn, most of the Western girl are not cooking and cleaning. They're saying that you should be doing it 50% of the time, and whenever I feel like I will be cooking for you. So if you're the one who is capable of cooking on a regular basis, they'll be like, damn, she's the one I'm looking for. So if you wanna like make yourself stick out from rest of the girls in Western world, then you will have to make sure that you are doing something different, because most of the girls are not liking the idea of cooking or cleaning, because they think it's misogynistic somehow. I don't know, like that's your I just don't want to be controversial here, but I'm telling you the truth, because if you want to have a relationship with successful man, but successful who is in shape, like there are a lot of guys who are successful who has the money but not in shape. Like I'm not gonna call them like a masculine. Like if you are fat and you have billions of dollars, it doesn't matter, you are not masculine. Like no, your masculine traits will define what you do in order to be fit, in order to be successful and stuff like that. So yeah, that's what I'll say a masculine guy does. Like he will protect, provide, like regardless of like let's say a situation, okay, like let's say there is a life and death situation, like so the guy will protect you regardless of life and death. Like even though there is 50% chance of dying in a fight, he will fight for you. Like that's the masculinity I'm talking about. Like he will die protecting you. So that's the thing. Like if he is not capable of doing it, he's not a masculine guy at all. Like, and also like you have to understand that you are in a real relationship with them, maybe married to them. So that's the thing.
Like I feel like in a relationship, like I'd be pretty easy to talk to, like pretty reasonable. Yeah, I think
That's the least thing a guy want. Like a guy don't want to, like a guy doesn't want to talk to you for like 2 hours or 3 hours, like maximum. If you were like, if you are going to them and if you are asking them, hey, how many minutes per day you want to talk to somebody, they'll max like the max is like around 60 to 120 minutes. Okay, like that's the range most guy prefers. They don't want to talk to much in a day. Like they don't want to go beyond 120 minutes, but if the job requires you to do that, they will do it. Otherwise they don't prefer to do it. So that's the thing. That's why we do not go to the like receptionist job. Like most women are doing, like you will see a receptionist who is more likely to be a female. Okay, so because women like to talk, socialize and stuff like that, but men are not like so good at that stuff. So yeah, like they will do the hard labor job where they will get more paid because there is less talk involved with that kind of stuff. Like construction worker, okay, yeah, I have to bring cement from the other side. Okay, I'm gonna bring that. Oh, I need to bring some rod from the other side. So yeah, like this kind of stuff that they like to do because there is less communication involved. Like you'll see what is necessary. Okay, like very little communication involved with construction work. So that's the thing. Men prefer less communication, but like effective, like little talk but important stuff. So like let's say you want to have a conversation, you are gonna talk about the main point. You are not just beating around the bush, because men don't like it, and men are very simple. And I understand female psyche that okay, they like to like beating around the bush. They like to be less hurtful by being indirect towards certain things, right? So yeah, like I understand that you don't want to hurt the guy, but if you are more direct, it will not hurt the guy. Like if he is masculine, like he understands that.
I think that's something.
But if he is like more feminine, like in the middle of feminine and masculinity, then yeah, he's gonna be hurt. But if you are looking for somebody who is like masculine and successful, they're gonna bring something to the table, which is they wouldn't be hurt by something that you are telling them. But yeah, like they will understand it, and if they think that okay, it's understandable, otherwise they will react to it in a different way. It's not gonna be like, oh, I'm hurt emotionally. No, it's not gonna happen to them.
I could bring.
I feel like
So that's why communication, like for man, communication is not the priority. It's more like sex and what do you do on a regular basis. So loyalty, like you are not sleeping around, you are not communicating with other guys, you are not on social media throughout the whole day. So yeah, stuff like that.
kind of like the textbook girlfriend when I like become a girlfriend. You know what I mean? I don't know if that makes sense, but like,
Textbook girlfriend.
but like, if I'm like really like, if I'm actually dating
Like nobody's talking about cooking and cleaning. Like what?
you, like, we're fully
Like if you are going forward with this idea that okay, I can communicate, then you are not gonna have a successful relationship, because the masculine guy will be like, oh, she cannot even cook for me, I'm doing everything to make sure she's safe, I'm putting my life on the line, still she cannot cook for me. Like at that time it will hit their mind, like okay, what is going on, and they will take the L. So that's the thing you should understand.
together.
I'm not saying like okay, women shouldn't do certain things. Yeah, you should do certain things, but you have to understand what a man wants in a relationship.
Or whatever. Like I'll go like above and beyond. Like if you are having a bad day, like to bring you shit that makes you feel better, like something like to hang out with your family and like actually connect with like not just you, but
That's a wrong idea. Okay, I'm gonna call you out on this, because what a man wants when they're facing problem, when they're having a bad day, they want something like okay, I want to relax right now, I want somebody beside me, but I don't want her to talk to me like, hey, how are you feeling, is it good right now, is it like what you have, like I don't want to discuss the problem. That's it. Like if I'm the masculine guy, okay, who is capable of solving the problem on his own, he's not gonna be like, oh yeah, I'm feeling really emotional, please support me. No, he's not gonna do that. Like it's ridiculous. Like the masculine guy understands that okay, I'm capable of solving certain problems right now, I do not have the solution, but I'll be able to figure it out within a couple of minutes or hours. So
like the whole family. Yeah, like my ex's family invited me to like family gatherings, like even like months after we started dating, because I was just close with them.
Yeah, honestly, like everyone said, trust, like loyalty, communication, and like definitely like supportive. Like I will support you in like school or your job or whatever, you know.
I could agree with Vivi. If I'm single, I'm gonna do my own thing. But in a relationship, I will do anything to an extent. I mean, I broke that in the past. But I will cook you food. I will kind of do anything if you're.
that's the only person with logic. Like she's gonna get the high value man, most likely.
Like I said, like if you're having a bad day, like I will cheer you up. I will.
But she got too many tattoos, so that's kind of a like red flag to a successful and high value man, because they think that okay, she's outlandish, she's going out, maybe she's hanging out with a lot of guys. So it's like more complicated stuff, like when you have a lot of tattoos. So yeah, like maybe one or two tattoos, maybe just a little bit, but not too much tattoos, like it's gonna turn them off. So yeah, like my advice would be like, if you want to do a tattoo, like maybe just a little bit, not too much. Like she has tattoos all over her body, so
We'll go out and go get your favorite snacks. You can just chill and just.
now I'm not like hating on her, like there will be somebody who will like her definitely, but for a successful masculine guy, she's gonna be like, look at her reaction, I'm cooking and cleaning, like what the fuck.
Do everything. But for me, like
You see,
kind of do anything if you're like she said, like if you're having a bad day, like I will cheer you up. I will go out and go get your favorite snacks. You can just chill and just do everything. But for me, like I started my own business in high school, and I've been growing that, and I am on that kind of point in my life where if you're not doing something that you're working towards or anything like maturity type, I don't know. definitely in that maturity level right now. I mean, I'm not that old. I'm still really young, but I guess that's what I kind of bring: a lot of maturity in a lot of ways, a lot of security, trust,
Like what kind of security you mean?
and a lot of loyalty.
I'd like to add one more thing too, by the way. I think in a relationship, and this is for me, I think it should be for a lot of other people. I get it if you like the whole clingy, you're my person for like forever and always, that's great. I think in a relationship, you are your own person and you're in that relationship to better yourself with that person's like contact and their presence. It's not like I'm controlling you all the way. If and like
Yeah, like a lot of guys are controlling, like, oh, I want to have a traditional relationship and I'm the traditional man, but I'm getting into a relationship with somebody who looks beautiful and amazing to some extent, but she has modern traits and you are just going there to control her. No, you shouldn't be doing that as a man. If you are a traditional man, you should be doing something which is gonna allow her to be free, okay, but what she is doing should be under your boundaries. Like you have certain boundaries, okay. So if she cross the boundaries, you take the L. Like you are not gonna be in a relationship with them. Take the L, find somebody who will be in that boundary. Like you have set up a boundary. I'm not saying like to control her, no, you have set up things that you want from a relationship, right? So if she is capable of like maintaining that boundary, that rules and regulations, if she is capable of doing it, and like you don't have to tell them, hey, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and you should do this, like if you don't do it, like no, don't blackmail her. Like let her live a free life, and then what she is doing in that free life, you should take note of that and you should take the L. Like if she is not capable of handling certain situations like that, okay, yeah, I have boundaries, don't go to the club. Then if she is like, okay, no, I'm gonna go to the club, I think you are insecure and stuff like that, if she tells you something like that, take the L immediately. Don't be like, oh yeah, I want you to stay here. No, she's not gonna change. You are the one who is trying to control her and you are toxic.
like you guys all said, if
You have boundaries, that's understandable, and yeah, you should tell her that, okay, these are the boundaries. I don't want you to go to the club. Maybe I don't want you to post bikini pictures on Instagram. I don't want you to show your ass on the internet. So like you can tell them, and if they feel like they should be posting on a regular basis or maybe once in a while, like you have your boundaries, and if she cross that boundaries, like take the L, or don't force her like, hey, you should do it. Like no, like, hey, this is what I want in a relationship, and if you are not capable of doing it, then I'll take the L. Like be clear to her, and don't force her. Like that's kind of bullshit. I see a lot of guys are arguing over certain things. Like don't argue with them. Like tell them honestly what you feel, and maybe they wouldn't like it, so you take the L.
if cheaters are gonna cheat, like if you're gonna cheat, just let them off the hook. That's just break up with them right there and then. I fully agree with that, and I find myself a super loyal person. I would never ever do that, especially knowing how it feels. And so, you should be your own person and trust that they're gonna support you in whatever you do. And as soon as that goes out the window, I think the relationship starts to diminish a little bit.
I can agree. If someone doesn't support me, it makes me feel really bad. I've worked my fucking ass off to get to where I am, and if they don't, I'm like, you don't care about me. You're not gonna support my dreams and my career and everything. But I'm gonna support you with everything you do.
Yeah.
That's the thing, like that is very complicated stuff. I don't want you to like I don't want you to think that, okay, I'm not supporting you, but what I'm trying to say here is that if let's say I'm a millionaire or a billionaire, okay, I don't want you to work for another company, okay. So if you're telling me that, hey, if you're not supporting me, like at that time we are not compatible for each other, it's understandable and I should take the L. But if I'm telling you, and then if you are like, no, you're not supporting me, like the moment you mention that, I'll take the L. So that is something that we have to work on and to understand each other more clearly. Like a lot of people are very ambiguous about this kind of bullshit, and yeah, that's why their relationship is like literally getting wrecked. by random guys. Like, okay, like you are a little bit shaky, you don't feel like, oh, she's not putting 100% of her effort into this relationship, and you are also not putting 100% of effort. So what happens is that somebody comes along and offers her better than what you are offering her, so that guy will take her. Okay, so that's why you have to be a little more clear about this.
But if I don't get the same back, I'm not gonna fuck with you anymore. Like you just, it goes down and down like with my feelings towards you. If you don't.
What's your business?
I do nails.
Nails. Okay.
I've been doing it for like a little over 2.5 years.
Okay. Nice.
Got my clientele, all that.
So you would be upset if your partner didn't
Why you look so like,
support you in
Yeah.
terms of your business?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know, comment
What if I
that?
told? When you say support, what do you mean?
If they don't, like if I show you my work and you're like, oh, it's cool, or if they don't, like, you had a really good day of work and you're really excited about it and like you're proud of yourself, if they're not proud of you, then I don't think that's a good thing.
Can I add?
Yeah. Sure.
I also, so it's like not my business, it's my
If she is doing something and you tell her, hey, I do not like this, and she says, she tries to force you, or maybe she is like nagging about it, like, hey, why don't you like it? I'm doing this for years, you should have respect. You take the L immediately.
sisters. She does like events in town.
You don't have to like tell her or force her, like, don't do it, like that is stupid.
About it, I think before we started the podcast, they're like flea markets in town, and I feel like I usually like invite my close friends and stuff, and if I was in a relationship and I invited the person and they didn't come, I feel like I say like too much, I already know, but I probably wouldn't like them as much if they like didn't come and support me.
Wait. So, and you, just going back to you. So you said that you'd want to tell your partner about like a good day at work. So I mean, what is a, no offense or anything, but what is a good day at work
For
doing
me,
nails?
if I personally like the work that I did,
Okay, like, cause is there an artistic
Oh,
component
100%.
to it? Okay, I
Like
can
the
see
design
that.
could be really pretty,
Sure.
or I had a really good conversation with someone. Cause I build a lot of bonds with my clients, and I become friends with them. A lot of my really close friends now are because I met them by working, and they just make an appointment with me, and then a lot of times I become their friend because of the connection we grow.
Sure.
But like I've like shown guys like my work, and they're like they just either ignore that I'll show them a picture, or they can ignore it just like over text, and they just don't really say anything. Or they're like, oh, I'm so proud of you, like you're doing really well. Especially like I'm 19 and I have my own business and it's going really well.
Nice.
And
Congrats.
thank you. And if they're not supportive of that, and it just doesn't think they're supportive of my career, a lot of guys think it's either really cool or really stupid.
Yeah, I mean, this.
For broke guys, definitely it's cool. Or for somebody who is like doing average, it's cool. But who is like, for somebody who is doing great, like making $100,000 a year and is in shape, like a masculine guy, ultra masculine guy, that guy wouldn't care about your career. Like he wants to have like, if he is getting married, he definitely wants to have children. That's the main thing. Like in Western world right now, as of right now, like sexual liberation of women has allowed successful men to have sex with like tens of men, tens of girls, tens of women, like thousands maybe sometimes. So yeah, like you see, I was like literally having a look at the data. Like I was doing a research on this stuff, and 5% of the men like who are attractive, who has his money in order, and stuff like that, they are able to sleep with 50% of the women. Okay, and then there is like next 15% of them are sleeping around like 20 to 25% of the women, and then you have got next 30% are sleeping with 30% of the men. So yeah, like, and 50% of them are kind of single right now, and a lot of girls are into have relationship with multiple guys. So you have like little over, I think, 50% of the guys who are in relationship, but most of the girls are in relationship as of right now,
I think when you're in a relationship
or at least have sexual access.
with someone, you should certainly be supportive of them. I think part of that might be related to, what it might be related to though, is that men don't really care about a woman's
Career.
Just let me clarify a bit. It doesn't make you more attractive to us.
But definitely there's some men who have high estrogen, they will care about it. And I'm not like trying to like insult them in any way. Like my friend has high estrogen, I can see that his boobs are literally hanging out. He's a man, but he's So yeah, like you have to understand that he wants a career woman. So yeah, like I have tried to like convince him like, hey, you are a successful guy. Like he is making somewhere around like 60 to 70 thousand dollars. So yeah, like I was trying to like talk to him about it, and yeah, like when I was trying to talk to him, I understood it. Like when he take off his shirt, I understood that okay, this guy has high estrogen, so like he is a little more towards career a career girl. So yeah, like you have a demand for everything. Okay, like if you are a career girl, there is a demand for it, but you are not gonna get the guy who is ultra masculine, will take care of you, protect you, provide for you. So like those kind of stuff are not gonna happen. That will be a dream world. Okay, like it's very rare to see somebody who is career oriented and find a guy who is gonna be loyal to them, or like loyal means like protect them or stuff like that.
If you have a career, or you're successful, or you're ambitious. Did you say why?
No, I was saying okay.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Just-
Yeah, so I think for most men, because you might be an outlier, but most women don't share their resources with men the same way that men share their resources with women. I know a lot of you are in college, so it's like, what the fuck are you talking about, Brian? But like, you're probably, finances to you guys probably are not really high on the totem pole yet, because most of the guys you're probably interacting with are in college. They're not in a career yet. But as you do start to get a bit older, you hear a lot about women like men with high status. So if that could be through a job, if they're an athlete, musician, actor, something like that. Whereas men, we do not care, we really care nothing at all about a woman's status. Whereas women care, if a man has status, can be very attractive.
It's also kind of hated upon though. Like I know a lot of women who end up with men who I guess would be considered like lower status or not paid as much. It gets more disrespected than if it was actually just a man of a higher status with a woman of a lower status. I feel like that's more usual. I feel like a lot of people.
Yeah, like true.
Yeah, like the man gets disrespected, but there are some exceptions. Okay, but exception doesn't make the rule, so you have to understand that as well. So
Yeah, like the trophy wife.
yeah, like usually I heard a story, like not a story actually. I was talking to a woman, and she was telling me this story that she had a good relationship with her husband and ex-husband, and they had children together. And when the woman started to out earn his man, she started hating him. Okay, like literally hate him for a while, and she was like, hey, you are not doing this, you are not doing enough, you are putting little to no effort and error. Like he was doing fine, like he was making the average guy job, average guy's money, which is like around like $45,000. I think that's a good amount of money to make, to maintain a relationship with a girl, and then in Vancouver. Okay, like it's an expensive city, but I can tell you that in Vancouver you can live under $45,000 a year. Okay, like if you after tax, okay, $45,000. If you spend like $2,500 per month, or $3,000 max, like if you have one child, then that will be like around like 36,000. If you have two child, maybe it will be around like you can have two child under that amount of money. Okay, so the woman started making around like $100,000 a year. So she started hating that man and doesn't have any respect, doesn't give respect, and starts sleeping around with another man in the office. So she starts like she has this grudge against him, and like literally she is showing some masculine trait, like she is being abusive towards him. So what happened there is that the woman who has children, 3 children, I think, if I remember correctly. So 3 children, she asked for divorce, and the guy was like, hey, I'm begging you, it's for the future of our children, I want to have a good relationship with you. I'm trying my best. Like this man works 8 hours a day and comes back home, start cooking for, like he cooks, he works full-time job, and like 100% of the time. Okay, the girl don't cook at all. Like she is this masculine guy, like she is behaving like a masculine guy, and she hits him every day, like literally, and will argue with him, will come home late, will go to the party club and stuff like that, because she's making huge amount of money and she hates him. Like I know there are some exceptions, but in most of the case this is what happens in a relationship. That's why you have got a huge amount of divorce. Like 50% of marriage ends up divorce, because the primary reason is that the girl makes more money than the man. Okay, so yeah, like you have to understand that. That's why things are very complicated. So what happened there was the girl, the woman, sleeps around with another high value man, but the high value man wouldn't commit to them. So she, I understood when she told me that, okay, she have a good relationship with this man. The man didn't like gave her like sold this dream to her, like, okay, yeah, I'll take care of you and this and that. And the girl thought that, oh yeah, she's serious, sorry, he is serious about me, the other guy, okay, like who with whom this girl was cheating. Okay, so what happened next was they broke up. Like the guy, her husband requested her multiple times, even cried. And one thing that you shouldn't do as a man, you shouldn't cry in front of your wife or your girl, never. So she lost respect for her. She has this idea, oh, there is another man who will take care of me, who is making more money than me in the office, so I always start, I'll have a good relationship with him. So yeah, they get divorced, and then she starts hooking up with that guy and have a good relationship for a couple of months, and then the guy take the L, doesn't give a fuck about her anymore. So what happened there is that the girl starts showing respect for the man, the past man, her husband. So that's the thing, like, and she wants to get back to him. She cheated on him multiple times, and she wants to get back to him because the next guy didn't take her. The guy was making $100,000, yeah, like 120,000, I guess, if I remember correctly. So yeah, like she started liking that guy, and she was having sex with that guy, and she somehow like thought that, oh yeah, I'm gonna have a good relationship with this guy, so I'm gonna give divorce to my husband. Like, you think that is gonna work out? Like, no man who is making $120,000 will be like, oh yeah, I'm a masculine guy, I'm gonna take you seriously, and you are married to another man previously. Yeah, like, they'll take the L. They'll never marry you. They're just selling you a dream, like, oh yeah, we can have a relationship. So yeah, do not ever, like, never ever consider cheating on your husband. Like, if you're doing it, the man will never take you seriously, because they understand that, oh, this girl cheated on her husband, therefore she can do the same to me. So yeah, they understand that, and they'll take the L. They're just trying to sleep with you. That's all.
Super common, but you don't really see the other way. I feel like it's kind of stigmatized.
You think it's stigmatized for a woman to be with a man who's
like if
earning less than her, or
if you can go on like the internet and you just see like these really famous influencers with their husbands who just are in the background. It's like constantly in the comments. It's like, why is she with him? What is she doing? Like he's like just doing this and that. But if you see like a very like Ronaldo or something, you wouldn't question why he had a girlfriend.
He's back.
He's
back.
He's watching.
Sorry, go ahead.
Like for like a famous celebrity or something like that, if it was a male, you wouldn't bat an eye if they had like a really attractive younger person who wasn't even a celebrity.
Okay. Yeah. I would say though, overwhelmingly, like a lot of. Did you want to come in on this? It looked like you were. Okay. It looked like it seems like for women who are high status, there are definitely women that will date down. But the thing is as a woman, as you start increasing your status and as you start making more money, your pool of potential partners tends to shrink, because most women don't want to date a guy who's lower status than them or whose earning potential is lower than them. Now, again, I know you guys are in college, so like you haven't probably played too much or wrestled too much with these sort of dynamics, but, and I know you're an outlier apparently, but
I'd say so.
Yeah, most women, and I think they've done polls on this. Like most women, and you can also do it with education attainment. Most women would want to date a man who is at least as or more educated than she is.
I think as might be. I don't know.
So if she has a bachelor's, she wants a guy who has a bachelor's. If she has a master's, I don't know if they did it for grad student, like people who have graduate level degrees,
Yeah.
but post grad, whatever it's called. So yeah.
I feel like with that, it's just like finding a partner, like you're finding an equal. Like you want to have someone who has kind of the same, like when you were saying with education, like you want someone with the same education as you. It's more of just seeing someone as like an equal instead of like maybe having to like try and explain things to him that he wouldn't understand. And that's not saying like you both have to have like engineering degrees in order for that to happen. Like it can definitely be where maybe like she is some like boss businesswoman, but he's out like doing like, I don't know, maybe he's just like doing something like a little bit less like, I don't really, I can't.
You see, I want to comment on one thing. Like all of them are very attractive. Okay, like they can get a guy who is high value man, who is masculine, but you see, like you have this hair color. Like when you are showing certain kinds of characteristics, like okay, you have fake color. Okay, like that's not your natural hair color, so they'll take the L, like oh yeah, she's doing this kind of stuff that she's not showing her real self. So maybe like you are losing a potential guy who could be a good husband to you. So I think that's why you have to be natural. Like a lot of people will be like getting surgery to like make certain parts of their body bigger. Like it's not gonna help you, it's just bullshit. So yeah, like try to be natural, as realistic as possible. Like try not to put so much makeup, because it's gonna like throw them, like it's gonna send them some kind of signal. So yeah, like they will have sex with you, okay, I'm telling you, they will have sex with you, but they are not gonna give you relationships. So that's the thing I would suggest you to consider. Like be natural. Like if your hair color is black, keep it black. If you like, when they like you for real, like for who you are in a realistic sense, like if your hair color is black or something like that, you have you don't have fake eyelashes or fake calves or fake breast or fake ass, then yeah, like if they like you, like that relationship will work out on a long run. Like if you are doing some fake stuff, you are trying to like put yourself out there with fake stuff, they're gonna take the L sometimes. Because so that's why I tell all the women, like try to be natural, because it will help you.
Examples, but it doesn't mean like, I feel like it's not so much as something that needs to be put down on paper. It's kind of like an everyday kind of thing. Like she wants to be able to talk to him and not feel like she's talking to someone that isn't matching her like mentally, if that makes sense.
I think men also.
Yeah, like that's why like women are very complicated. I'm not saying like that's a bad thing, like very complicated, but when you understand that complicated stuff, that's when you can have a good relationship. And a lot of men will act like, oh, they understand, but they actually don't understand. They want to have sex with you. So that's the thing, and that's why you don't like a lot of guys. But when some random guys figure out the girl code, at that time they're able to sleep with like 50%, like 5% of the guys are sleeping with 50% of the girls. So
Also kind of feel like, from what I've talked to, I feel like I've met more men who like are more.
And also there is this new study shows that you will have a like long-term successful around 50% of the girls will be single. I mean they will have sexual access to men, but with men, but they wouldn't have relationship by 2030 in America. I mean in Western countries, I think, if I remember the study correctly.
Breadwinner position. Like a lot of guys I've talked to like actually want to engage in that. I think for women it's more because only recently, like in the past 100 years, women have kind of gotten the rights to do whatever. So it's kind of always trying to work up on an even playing field. Versus I think a lot of men still kind of just want to. Not all of them, but a lot do.
Do you find a lot of women want to fall into the role of, like, you know?
Housewife.
I've actually met quite a few who like actually want to do that,
Yeah.
especially more like religious people. But
Mm-hmm.
it's still pretty common, I'd say.
Did anybody else want to come in on this? Oh, sorry. Did you have more? Or?
I was just saying in university it's kind of biased because all the girls here are pursuing like a higher education, so you wouldn't really find that.
Yeah. And obviously, like sometimes like
I would actually like wouldn't prefer No, I'm not gonna
joke
say it
about it.
because if you're saying something online, it's gonna be recorded, and yeah, like they can, like girl can figure out your stuff, like, and they will play the game. Gold digger especially, like they will figure out what you want, what they will act literally like that. So yeah, that's why you shouldn't be putting something like, oh yeah, this is what I want from a girl. So yeah, like don't do it, okay? Like don't tell them, okay, if you want to be in a relationship with a girl, because if you are telling them exact truth, there will be some, like if you're a multimillionaire at that time, there will be some gold digger who will be like literally smack you, okay, with relationship.
Like, oh, it would be so nice to just marry rich and then you don't have to worry about anything. But
That would be nice.
it would be nice.
That would be nice.
It's the dream. But obviously, like every time, like I say it personally, like I mean it as a joke. Like I have my own aspirations.
What are your aspirations?
Well, I mean,
What are you studying again?
I'm undeclared.
Oh, okay.
Like I don't have any at the moment, but like I do want to have something of my own. Like if I were to get into a relationship, like I personally would not want to just like live off of everything that he's doing and just have, like if I want to go grocery shopping, hey, can I get some money to go grocery shopping? Like that's not what I want to do.
I just want to come in on this really quick. So it's kind of interesting because
Like why the hell you have to go to the like grocery shopping? Like you are going alone to do grocery? I think that's I mean, for me, like if I'm in a relationship, I'll do the grocery, you cook and clean. But if you want to go to grocery, then you go with me. I think that would be a good thing, because I don't want you to go outside alone and then be harmed by some random dude. Like there are some predators, okay, they are like literally following you and trying to like harm you, have this intention. So yeah, I don't want you to go there alone. Like if you're going outside, go with me. And now a lot of girls would be like, oh, you're so possessive. No, I'm trying to protect her. Like, what are you talking about? A lot of people are getting raped. I'm not gonna say the R word because you understand that, right? So yeah, like if there is a potential, if there is a probability that you will be raped, like why would I let you go there alone? Like I'll be the one to fight for it, like if I'm there. So yeah, like I don't want you to be unsafe out there.
So traditionally you would have the man providing, and it was more traditional, so he'd be the head of the household, he'd be the leader, so to speak. And it's interesting to me that women, so you could say that women were submissive to their husbands, wives were submissive to their husbands, but you've traded that by being submissive to an employer. You now, instead of being submissive to your husband, you are now submissive to an employer. And your employer's gonna ask, I would say, much more of you than with a husband.
Well, I mean, wouldn't you also be like
Submissive to an employer, yeah. I mean, we're all submissive to something.
No, but I'm saying, like, traditionally, if the man, if you were, say, a stay-at-home, you didn't have to go out and labor. You didn't have to go out and work. You would only be submissive to a husband.
And the kids and cleaning and cooking, yeah.
Like you are not submissive to your kids. Like what are you talking about? You were submissive to your husband.
I don't think women should be submissive to their children.
Well, they do have to like do everything for them. Okay. Fair.
Like what the fuck? Like you own them.
Well,
So you're doing like to like make them better. Like you don't care about them, you don't love them. Like if you love them, definitely you'll gotta take care of them, and you want them the best life, right? Like just like your parents did. Like what the fuck are you talking about? It doesn't make sense. Like, oh yeah, you have to be submissive towards your children. Fuck you.
I think as a mother, you have you're in a position of authority over your children.
Yeah, yeah.
Hopefully,
no, I get that. Yeah,
hopefully.
I get that.
But no, I mean, I think it's. I just want to clarify something. I do think it's really.
Actually, I recently saw this like submissive stuff. So there is this women like Moroccan, like in Morocco, you have got women who are very submissive, very traditional, and you know, like the football team. So they own a game, and then they were like glorifying their mothers after winning the game, right? So Netherlands newspaper wrote something, stop glorifying your mothers. Like what kind of bullshit is that? Like what? If I'm successful today, it's because of my mother, and my mother is very submissive towards my father, and she is more like, okay, I gotta raise my child in a way that will allow them to be successful. Like her intention was from the beginning, okay, I want to make sure my children are safe, my children are raised in a way that will make them successful and stuff like that. So you'll like, it doesn't make sense. Like I'm talking about from a sense that uh, like if you're submissive towards your husband, and if you are able to raise your child or children in a proper way, then definitely it's gonna allow you to be much more successful than what you are thinking that your career will allow you to be. Like a man is capable of doing more, so if he is becoming a billionaire, he will take care of you like much more than your career, because he has more potential, he is physically capable of doing something, he has higher testosterone, he has higher chances of becoming a successful person. So like career maybe will make you like $1 million or $2 million at most if you are a successful career woman. But if you are able to raise a child, there is a potential that he will become more like he has this potential, like a male child has more potential than a female child. Now I'm not trying to like blame women for that. Like women are capable of doing something like giving birth to a baby, and I think all this success that a male is achieving goes back to their mother, goes back to you. So your male child is successful, therefore you are successful. If he is a billionaire, like literally you created that billionaire. So like it's more like it's more than what you need. Like he is a billionaire, at least he's gonna give you 1 or 2 mil or 3 mil or maybe 5 or 10 mil. Like it is what it is. Like if you raise them properly, if you are gonna make them like, if you are gonna abuse them emotionally and stuff like that, it's gonna be a bad situation for you. It's gonna be a lose-lose situation.
It's great that we've have women in the
So
room.
yeah, like I think it's very good from the Moroccan team that I have seen, that they were glorifying their mothers for what they have put in. So yeah, but I think it's kind of a hypocrisy from European countries like Netherlands. And yeah,
I don't want to come off like I'm trying to roll that back or anything, but it does. Well, I don't want to get too far into it, but okay, I like that. Damn, rip. I don't even know where we were going with that, but trying to roll that back or anything, but it does. Well, I don't want to get too far into it, but okay, I like that.
so rating from the left to right, 3. Now I'll give her a 4. Like if she loses weight, she's 6. And I'll give her a 5. I'll give her 5. I'll give her 7. I'll give her 5.5. I'll give her 6. I'll give her, I mean, her tattoos is just like throwing me off, but she looks good, okay? Like she is somewhere around 6. And I'm not saying like 5 is beautiful, okay? 5 is beautiful, not like supermodel type, but 5 is beautiful, okay?
Damn, rip.
I mean, she has a good look, but she is obese, so that's why she lost her points. But she is capable of getting like 6 rating in terms of beauty, like attractive.
I don't even know where we were going with that, but yeah, I guess to bring it back, men are not so, it's not attractive. Okay, for me, I've dated women who are doctors, I've dated attorneys, I've dated pharmacists, I've dated professors, cancer research, like just the whole slew, right? More nurses than I can count. Women's careers, to me, don't make them more attractive. Like, I'm not more attracted to a girl, oh, you're a doctor. Whereas I think a lot of women who are maybe a bit older, you guys probably are not quite yet in the age, maybe, hey, maybe you're down to date a doctor, I don't know. Mm-hmm. But most women, like, are probably in their mid to late 20s, early 30s. A doctor would be a fucking catch. I don't give a fuck if a woman's a doctor. I'll date a barista. I'll date a girl that works at Chick-fil-A, because men and women are looking for different things. What we're attracted to, there's not always symmetry in what we find attractive in the opposite sex. So it's great. I think it's great. Make your money, like have a career, do something great. I'm in favor of more women getting into STEM. I think it'd be wonderful if we had more people researching, illnesses, cancers, Alzheimer's. I mean, these things are awful. And the more manpower, woman power, I guess in this case, we can throw towards these illnesses and diseases, I think would be fantastic. But from a dating point of view, I'm not more attracted to a girl because of her career or because of her status or because of her earning potential.
I just think it's like hella interesting though at the end. It's like I feel like a lot of women I do know probably they would value that. Just maybe someone who would provide as well. I think they'd mind more, or at least I would if like I was dating like a McDonald's worker. Not to be mean to McDonald's workers, but like in 20 years, I don't know if that's the move. But I think men also put I think a lot more value on like attractiveness than women do, and I think women place a lot more value on like hard work and kind of
Personality.
yeah.
And like ethics, morals.
Yeah, I think it's just like it's
I think they look like Asian, so yeah, like they have more realistic goal in terms of what they're looking for forward to in a relationship. So yeah, like for Western women, like who are born here, who are doing certain things here, like successful, they look more from a male than what you are capable of like achieving as a man. So yeah, they don't like diverse guy. That's why 5%, top 5% of the guys are able to sleep with 50% of the women.
I think how it's just kind of different in a way.
I mean, they're predatory, okay? Like, they want to sleep with as many women as possible.
In some aspects.
I personally, if I wasn't working, it would drive me crazy.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I honestly, like, once I started, like, making my own business, I love working. There's actually, like, a lot of people don't like working, but since I'm my own boss, I make my own schedule, I do everything my own, it's really fun. I like working with, like, the girls, like, meeting the people. So, like, I like to be treated, but, like, if I didn't work and the guy was only making money, that would piss me off.
Yeah.
Because I like what I do.
Yeah. By the way, I just want to clarify, like, it's not that I'll date a woman with a career. It's not a problem at all. It just, to me, it's not like if the woman's a doctor versus if she's a phlebotomist making $17 an hour, like, or if she works a fast food job. I do not like it. I don't care. If she's coming into the relationship with a lot of debt, then finances kind of are a factor. But I mean, it's been my experience actually. What's really interesting, like, I've encountered women who I remember once. This was years ago. I was speaking to a litigation attorney, very successful attorney here in Santa Barbara. She's probably making $250,000 a year. And I don't know why she was so upfront about it, but she's like, yeah, I really want a guy who's going to take me out, pay for my stuff. I'm like, hey, you make $250,000 a year. Like, the traditional gender roles are out the window when you're making $250. Like, what? You're probably out earning most of the men who would potentially date you, and you still have this expectation that men. I mean,
everyone wants to be spoiled. You know,
Yeah.
like,
but
but
do men want to be spoiled? Men can't be spoiled though.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
no,
Oh,
guys
yeah.
would love
Men-
if you bought
men
them
can be
flowers.
spoiled?
Yeah,
No, like they would love like to
Yeah.
just get stuff, right?
They would love it, but women don't do it.
Yeah, we do.
Have you ever bought a guy flowers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We used to bring him
Okay.
drinks in the morning. Starbucks.
Okay, well you're wifey material.
Yeah, like,
I'm not I'll pay for a first date.
Well, we know you're
Like-
a simp. But overall, I think if you ask most men, like they're going to feel like they have to always be paying for stuff.
Do you like paying for stuff? Do either of you guys or
Do you
no?
willingly
Like,
pay?
things that make you happier.
I'll let Luke go and then I'll answer.
Yeah, it does, because it does reassure you of your whole, like, I don't want to say superiority thing, because it's not superiority, but it's like, you know, like I'm the fucking man. Like
I'm the alpha.
Yeah.
Beta. Are you a beta?
Yeah, it's like you are the one taking care of it. You're the one like stepping up, really like exceeding expectations, even though it's like already expected, right? Going into it, like if you take a girl out, the guy is expected to pay. That's just a societal standard, and you know I'm fine with it. I don't really give a shit. If a girl pays for my food, fucking great. Just like you guys said. Again, if a girl spoils me, that's fantastic. You know, I'm all for it. But you know, 90% of the time, I'm the one that's asking a girl out. And I said this last time too. If you ask someone out, you should be the one paying for the date.
I agree.
If a girl asks a guy out,
She
they should pay.
Yeah.
If I ask a girl out, because
You're a fucking loser if you're not able to pay. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? But let's say she is, like, you shouldn't go on a date in the first place, like, if you don't want to pay as a man. So, you should be, even if you are broke. If you're not, like, let's say you're broke, like, you have, like, $20 in your bank account. If you're not capable of paying for the date, don't go to the date. But if you're capable of doing it, go on a coffee date, but pay for the date. I mean, if a girl truly respects you, she's gonna understand that, okay, maybe he's going through a financial hurdle, so I better understand the situation. And if she respects you, she'll take that as a, like, okay, at least he's offering me a coffee and paying for the coffee. So yeah, like, they will understand it. But a lot of gold digger will be like, oh, he hasn't paid for a good dinner, good meal during lunch or stuff like that. No, you're not compatible with each other, so take the L. Just because somebody is beautiful, you don't have to put so much effort to get them. Like, you are not gonna get them. Like, If they respect you, you'll have a good relationship with them. That's it.
You are taking her out.
Yes.
Whereas and again, a lot of girls don't take guys out.
Yeah, let's go around the table.
That's
Let's,
true.
I'll let you continue though. Have you ever asked? Well, I'm gonna start over here. Have you ever asked a guy out on a date?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I don't think so.
No, but I also like don't go on dates, so
No, I don't think so.
I think I have.
You were blacked out.
You're a simp. I'm kidding.
This was one of your blacked out moments.
No, actually, she looks good. Okay, like, but the thing is that thing that is throwing me off is her tattoos. Like, for a guy like me, will be more interested in like less tattoos, or like if she has less tattoos, that's the thing. Like, if she has tattoos all over her body, it's gonna make me feel in certain way. Like, I'm not saying like it's a bad thing, but it's gonna make me feel like she is masculine or something like that, will trigger me and like turn me off somehow. So I don't understand that, but yeah, I have this feeling like whenever I had tried to like talk to them
Okay.
with so many tattoos.
Yeah. So I mean, the thing is though, like. the whole
And
thing
also,
is-
like, if you have tattoos on certain places, like around your breast area, or maybe your ass, or like, yeah, like, I don't like that. Okay, like, if you have a tattoo on your hand on the side, that is maybe okay for me, but other than that, or maybe legs, I mean, on the shin. So yeah, like, I'm talking about the shin part. So
women aren't really asking guys out.
Yeah,
that,
exactly.
you know?
It's scary. I don't know.
Yeah.
Isn't it scary for men too?
Yes.
Yeah,
it is.
yes.
It's scary both parts.
And
Yeah.
here's the interesting thing on that.
and also, like, if you have a guy approaching you, like, if he looks nice and capable of providing for you, like, take that guy. Like, you are not gonna find a guy like, oh, you have so many requirements, that's why you are miserable, and that's why 50% of the girls will be miserable when it's 20-30.
As a woman, if you do ask a guy out, actually your chances compared to men, your chances of getting a positive response are actually very high compared to when a guy asks a woman out. You have a much higher likelihood of it being a good reception from the guy if you ask him out, whereas like a lot of dudes dudes have to play the number game. We get fucking rejected. I'll say this, like, and I brought this up I think on the podcast. When it comes to dating apps, for example, for most men on dating apps, I'd say that 80% of men, the bottom 80%, maybe bottom 70% men, being on a dating app is like playing Russian roulette with your self-esteem, and every chamber of the cylinder is loaded. So it's a foregone conclusion, as a guy. Here's a motorcycle guy. Foregone conclusion that you're gonna get destroyed on a dating app as a guy. That's most men's experience. So, but anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there. If you want to continue with your paying, I think it was like, and you're saying.
Oh, paying.
Men, whoever asked you to pay, and then you went into saying,
If you get
But-
asked out,
but
whoever
women
asks-
aren't.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
Again, I'm fine with paying. Again, if I see there's something going forward with it, then I'll be like, hey, I'll pay. But if yeah, it's such a gray area because I want to say, it should be 50-50 on a date, but at the same
What the fuck? Like, get the fuck out of here, man. 50-50, like, what? I think man should pay for the date. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? It doesn't make sense. Like, you were equal to a woman? No, you should be the protector, provider, maintainer. So, like, what the hell are you talking about? It doesn't make sense at all. Like, you should be paying for the date, and you should make sure that she is safe out there when she is on a date with you, and when she is home, you take the, like, you leave. Okay, like, yeah, that's what you should do. Like, if you are taking someone's on a date, like, if you're not doing that kind of stuff, that means you're not really invested into her. Or also, I can say the same thing for women. Like, if she is not doing the bare minimum thing, like, she is going on a date and she is like literally using her mobile phone like this, like, you should take the L. Like, you shouldn't even talk to her. Like, middle of the date, take the L, pay for the date and take the L. If she's not interested, like, if she picks her phone, like, unless, like, not a text message, unless her parents are texting her, but at least she should tell her parents, like, hey, I'm on a date right now. So, like, her parents should know and shouldn't be texting her all the time. Like, that is bullshit. So if her friends are texting her, like, take the L immediately. Do not consider getting into a relationship with her. So
Same time, I don't know. There's something fulfilling about paying for like an expensive dish, but then looking back at your bank account and being like, "Fuck."
I always fight for the check. I always fight for it.
But do you win ever?
I have.
Or is it
no,
like
I
a
have.
gesture? Is it like a
She dates homeless guys. She's winning. She's winning.
There you go.
I will say I don't mind
Sorry, I
paying.
didn't mean to cut you off.
No, no, no,
If you want to
it's
continue.
okay.
I mean, don't take the homeless guys. Take the average guy. I think they will be loyal to you most probably. And if he is super attractive in terms of his looks, you are going to have hurt time most probably, because like a lot of guys are not attractive. So yeah, that's the thing I gotta say.
If you want to
I
continue.
don't. I like wouldn't mind 50-50 because I get that it's fair, but also it is nice having the guy pay.
Yeah.
Like if I do offer, like, are you sure? And I would 100% be okay with it. I'm not gonna say it if I'm not okay with it. And if he's like, yeah,
Even if she is offering you to pay for the date, you shouldn't take it. You should pay 100% of the date. Now if she is like literally forcing you, like, no, I don't want, I'm equal to you, I'm 50, I'm all for 50-50, I'm a feminist, like, let her pay then. But if she isn't like literally offering you once or twice or maybe thrice, like, tell her, hey, it's okay, I'm paying for the date. So yeah, like, if she is going over like 3 or 4 times, like, you should understand that, okay, there is something wrong with this thing. There is something wrong that can occur in the future in this relationship. So yeah, like, you should take the L. You should pay for the date and take the L. Like, if she's offering, like, forcing you literally.
no, like, don't worry about it. Like, it's nice.
Yeah.
Everyone
Like,
do-
if she is not understanding within 3 times, like, you are offering that, hey, I'm gonna pay full for the date, okay. And yeah, like, I made a mistake, okay, early on, like, when I went on a date, like, my first date in Canada, in Vancouver, okay, like, I made a mistake doing that, and I understood it. Like, I watched some of the red pill video, okay, I'm not gonna like what I'm saying. So yeah, like, I watched some red pill video and I understood that what a man should do in a dating situation, like, what you are capable of doing. Like, even if the girl is asking out, you should pay for the date.
agree with that. So you'd prefer to have the guy pay on the date. Let me ask, so he asks you on the date, but the check comes and he says, hey, let's get separate checks. Are you gonna feel a certain type of way about that?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Wait, I thought you said you fight for the check though.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I'd rather pay. I'd rather pay for it all and not.
You'd rather, okay.
I'd rather pay for it all.
But you'll still be interested in the guy?
Yeah.
Even if you pay for it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I said
I think you said,
no. Wait, what was the question?
Yeah,
sorry.
guy asks you out,
Yeah.
you get dinner or
It's
whatever
getting
maybe. You get dinner and then he says, hey, let's get separate checks.
Yeah.
Are you gonna feel a certain type of way about
No,
that?
I don't think so.
You wouldn't mind?
No.
Okay.
I mean, like, if he asked me out and asked for separate checks, like, at the end of the date, I mean, I'd pay, like, I don't care, but it would just kind of be like, oh, like, that's not really what.
I like wouldn't say no. Like, again, I'd be okay with that. But then I feel like it is something to consider. Like, it's not an immediate, like, I'm never gonna hang out with this guy again, but it is just something, like, to consider the fact that he asked you out and then he brought up separate checks.
Yeah, especially if you're like going somewhere like Chick-fil-A.
Man, whatever.com, like, I don't know your name exactly, or maybe like the only thing that I want to remind you, that change the table, okay, get a black table or something like that. Like, it is literally throwing me off, okay.
I'm not splitting half of it.
Or get yellow, like, more, like, you see my table, it's not white, okay. So yeah, don't, I mean, who uses a white table? Almost it's white, okay.
If it's somewhere nice, maybe.
Yeah,
Wait,
maybe
so-
somewhere nice.
It doesn't look good, and also, like, get some soundproofing, like blanket, or I don't know what is that thing, but yeah, like, soundproofing, like, I can hear a lot of noise.
Cheap? You want him to pay, but if it's expensive, then you're gonna pay?
No,
So-
no, no. Like, I'd understand if it was cheap and he asked to split it and it was like a $25 meal. I'd be like, why did you ask me out then if you couldn't
Yeah.
afford that? But if it's somewhere like very nice and you're having like issues, that's fine. But I
Like,
don't know.
nice meal, like, what the hell are you talking about? I'll just buy you a coffee and that's it.
I think you should be aware of your circumstances sometimes, because like, what if the other person can't afford it?
Or maybe ice cream, okay. Like, I don't eat ice cream often, but maybe I'll try ice cream.
Yeah, I would agree with what you're saying in terms of depending on where we're going, and at the same time, like, I don't mind because I don't really go on dates with the intention of the guy has to pay.
I've gone to Chick-fil-A and just paid.
I think it's a flex. I think it's a flex.
I agree with you, but as an egalitarian, by the way, y'all said you were feminists,
With the
but
definition, yeah.
but when it comes to who should pay on the first date, how do you reconcile?
Feminism went down the window. Like,
Ask who
Yeah,
asked. If I asked a guy on a date, I would pay for that
Yes.
date. Like dead ass.
Why would you ask someone, can you go to dinner
but
with
you never ask him.
I'm saying, hey, do you
What
want
the
to-
fuck are you talking about?
Start it. You go. Okay.
But okay, if you're with a friend, if you're with a friend and you're just like, hey, do you want to grab dinner? Are you gonna pay for your friend's dinner? If you,
Well, the friend's
If
different.
it's a friend,
When you
we're
go-
going in knowing it's you pay for yourself.
Or even like,
You split it.
Or 50-50 if you're splitting.
what we even do
something.
sometimes now is just like, I'll take this when you get the next
Yeah,
one.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's my
That's
favorite thing to do.
I agree with that.
Just get with your egalitarian mindset.
okay, I mean, so I have a take that pisses both men and women off on this
Yeah.
one because here's the, you do make a good point, Luke, and yes, it is. It's not gonna hurt you to pay for the date.
Oh, actually, I remember on one more date where I went with a feminist, okay? I offered her thrice, okay? Hey, I can pay for the date. And she literally told me 4 times, okay, no, we can split it up, it will be fine. I was so turned off by that, like, I was literally like, okay. I never saw her again. So yeah, I blocked her. Like, it's kind of a turn off. Like, I told you, at least respect me. So when she offered me 50-50, I understood that she doesn't respect me. I offered you 3 times and you didn't respect me. Therefore, I'm ending this over here. So yeah, like, take the L, guys.
have some little benefit. I mean, it does put you in a bit more of a leadership position to pay for it, and you're demonstrating that, you know, kind of provisioning thing, providing. But, oh man, I can't do it, guys. I can't. There's a few scenarios where I am willing to pay, but I think you should each pay your own bill, because one, food
Fuck you, man. What the fuck are you talking about?
booty calls. People.
Now, I don't hate this guy, okay? Like, he's a really nice guy. Like, he's coming up with some good points. I think I like those ideas. Like, he's whatever he's talking
People are just
about.
not. People are not going in, and I've had these experiences. People are not genuinely going on dates with. Sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes they're not going in with like a genuine interest. Sometimes a girl will just be like, "I guess I'll go. I'm kind of bored." There will be girls that just want a free meal. That's happened to a lot of dudes. Like, they just want a free meal. To me, to me that doesn't make sense to do that time wise, but I guess it happens, especially if you're. I don't do dinner dates, by the way, but even if it's just for a drink, we each get 2 drinks, a glass of wine.
It's a lot.
Yeah, you wait.
That's
What?
expensive.
Yeah.
Drinks are
Yeah,
It's like $10 a drink. I mean, but still, yeah, you can pay. You can pay. You can pay your. You'll pay for yours. I'll pay for mine.
There was
I mean,
The only exception I'll do it. And by the way, so if I'm dating women within my age cohort, older professional women, then yes, I'm gonna say, hey, we're gonna split. But if I'm dating someone younger, 18, 19, 20, 21, then I'll pay. And if I'm in a relationship with her, and I say, hey, I want to go to Hawaii, let's go, I'm gonna pay for the whole thing.
yes.
But if I'm dating a litigation attorney, we're gonna split that vacation. And we're gonna split that up, you know. But if she wants to pay for me, then okay. There's no. I'm waiting for the female simps out there, though. There's.
I was gonna say something on the first date thing, and like I don't think I've ever taken a girl out to a restaurant on a first date. It's always been something fun and interactive. Like
yeah, 'cause
if
it's
it's
so basic.
yeah.
it's not
You don't
even
wanna
that.
just
It's just
sit
kind of
there.
like
It's awkward.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's awkward.
yeah.
Yeah, dinner dates are bad.
And
don't,
then you
don't
can
do dinner
you
dates.
can also kind of see like if you go to the beach or go on a hike, like
Sunset walk.
Exactly. it's much more interactive. Number
And
one,
intimate.
and
Yeah,
intimate,
yeah.
and it's free, so you
Yeah.
can actually see them without like being like, fuck, am I just paying for some like
Yeah,
foodie thing?
yeah.
And then if
Yeah.
you like them, you can say, hey, do you want to get something to eat after
Yeah.
this?
Yeah.
Like, go get ice cream.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Yeah, I'd much rather go like to the beach with someone than like
A
yeah.
horror movie is it?
I've gone on a first
yeah, I
date.
love
We got
going to
tattoos.
movies.
Movies are the worst
No,
first
they're the
date.
best.
You
They're the
can't
worst.
talk to them.
I
Yeah,
hate
you
them.
can't
I
talk.
hate
No,
them.
you're just staring at the screen.
You're not
and
even
you can't
looking at
talk
each
to
other.
them.
Like,
You're facing
You can't get to know him. You can't do anything.
It's,
Like,
yeah, I think
There's
for
some
first
Not
date,
for a
I
first
agree.
date, but in general, like for
Yeah.
a date.
Yeah. But not on the
Yeah,
first date.
yeah,
Not
on the
getting to know
first
each
date.
other. Yeah.
Definitely facts. Okay, we got a couple super chats here, and then we're gonna react to a video, and then we'll probably wrap up in maybe 20 minutes or so. Okay, so I think.
Yeah, that's good enough for the video. I think it's very interesting to know and learn certain things about dating and what they think about, like especially women, what they think about dating and stuff like that. So yeah, I think it was a really good one. I'm gonna react to another video. Hopefully it will be an interesting one. Okay.
Jeffrey's about to.
Gonna react. Oh, okay. Hamza's video. All right.
Ruin his relationship with Jessica. He's listened to all of the advice telling him to open up and be vulnerable in front of her, and he thinks it's a good idea. Surely this many people couldn't be wrong. And so Jeffrey does the unthinkable. He breaks down in front of her. Life's so hard and I'm so stressed and I just, please look after. You wanna know what happens? Jessica comforts him. They were right all along. All you've got to do is be vulnerable and she'll actually like you even more. Yay, our relationship's gonna get better. What? Where are you going? Coincidentally, Jessica just wants to go on a girls' night out now. Their relationship diminishes and gets depolarized, boring and dead. Adonis. Adonis is not a toxic man, but he will not burden his wife with his troubles. Now, of course, she is there to support him, but Adonis is a masculine man, and so he will solve those problems himself or with his brothers. His time with his woman is pure, because he treats her more like his daughter rather than his mother. I did a meetup here in Dubai just a couple of days ago where me and a bunch of guys gathered around in a park to literally just fight each other. Like, I'm not even exaggerating, we literally just put gloves on and just fought each other. It's a great time. It's the second one we've done. It's called Fight Cult. It's every Saturday in Dubai. You can find the details in like community posts, Instagram, whatever. But this time, you know, after the fighting's done, we all just kind of stand around, people ask me questions and take pictures. One of the guys asked me, and he said he thought I was wrong about the fact that I always tell you to not be vulnerable and show bad emotions to your woman. He said he thought I was wrong for this, and then he told me his story where he defied what I said. He opened up, became more vulnerable, and sexual attraction diminished. He started acting feminine, she started acting more masculine, and their relationship ended. He was confused even to this moment, even after having that experience, asking me why this is happening. And even now, he couldn't truly believe that you shouldn't be vulnerable in front of a woman. And you know what I said to him? Of course you don't believe me when I tell you to not show emotions, bad emotions, weakness to your woman, because everyone else is disagreeing. Every movie, all the news, every dickhead on Twitter, all your friends, your family, everyone is doing it wrong, and they're telling you to do exactly like them. They're telling you to
That's a good point.
treat your partner, your wife, your woman like your buddy, like your male friend. They're telling you to burden her.
I have seen it. My friend doing it, and they broke up with each other. Like, he has, like I told you earlier that he has high estrogen, yeah, like in a different video, not in this video. Like, I was talking about another guy with high estrogen, not that guy. There is another friend of mine who has high estrogen, and he goes to the gym. Okay, he goes to the gym. He can bench press like 135 pounds. So yeah, that is good. But what I'm saying here is that he opened up to his girl, and he literally shared that how weak he is, like he's trying really hard, he's not capable of solving the problem. So the girl started showing less emotion, became very masculine and started showing certain kinds of emotion that are usually shown by men. So yeah, like she literally lost respect for him, and things didn't work out. Like, I'm not gonna give you too much details because he didn't, I didn't take the permission from him. So yeah, like that's it. Like,
with your troubles, when she will consciously say that that's really nice, you know, wow.
They have this idea that, okay, yeah, when a man opens up, it will be good, it's gonna be a good relationship, because a lot of guys would be like flaking them, like the top 5% of the guy who are literally getting all the girls, 50% of the girls. So they're the one who will be interested in, they think that they're not emotionally invested in them, but the real thing is that they understand the game, and they figure out that, okay, you girls are liberated sexually, so you are going out there to find the attractive man, 6 feet tall, making $100,000 a year. So they understand the game, and they make 100,000 or more than $500,000. And then what they're doing actually is that they're just literally finding out, oh yeah, she's interested in my money, I'll just give her sex and I'll throw her out the window. So that's it. And that's why a lot of women will think, like 50% of the women think that men are toxic, because they have relationship with 5% of the guys. Okay, as I said earlier, 5% of the guys have sexual relationship with girls, which is about like 50% of girls. So therefore 50% of the girls have this experience with toxic guy. Okay, 5% toxic guy. So that's why they think that, okay, they're not emotionally invested into you. So they think that if they were emotionally invested into them, it could have been better. So they have these wrong ideas for relationship. That's why they give you this kind of bullshit idea, and yeah, like it's never gonna work out. Like men are supposed to be men, and that's why you better not take advice from them.
She'll seem happy about it. You want to know the true, unfiltered facts of what will happen when you defy what I preach here and you listen to everyone else. You'll open up in front of your girl and you'll feel awesome. Yay, look at me, I'm so...
Like, do it, okay? Like, if you are really sure about it, like, or if you want to open up to your girl, then do it. And see for yourself what happens. Within 3 months, relationship is gonna be broken apart, okay?
Forward, yeah, like we're so modern now. You'll open up in front of your girlfriend, you'll talk about some things, some weakness.
3 months, okay? 3 months. You are gonna see like more than 50% of the guy will end up breaking up with the girl, okay? The girl will behave like she will behave in a toxic way, and yeah, like that's why you shouldn't be opening up with your emotional stuff. It's just you have to solve the problem. Be a man. Solve the problem on your own. Like, why the hell are you just giving her a hard time understanding certain things that she's not supposed to do for you?
She'll complain. And she'll hold you and she'll be like, oh, and she'll look like she's happy that you've done this. She will genuinely feel happy that you've opened up to her, and guess what? She will start to fuck you less. And when you do fuck her, she'll enjoy it less. And when it gets extreme, she will think of another man fucking her, because a feminine woman always needs a masculine man. When you act in a feminine way by opening up and crying and complaining and asking for her guidance, you discard your masculinity and you give her feminine energy from yourself. And when you give her feminine energy, that means that she has to give you masculine energy. You will literally begin to notice that she will be more masculine and dominating even when you guys are having sex. And then for the rest of the relationship, you will say something that usually is fine and she'll find it a little bit insulting and disrespectful. You'll ask her to do something and she'll make an excuse and not do it. For the first time ever, she will disobey you. No one talks about this because it's very...
Yeah, like if you are, let's say you are not a masculine guy, you were providing for her, giving her security, and you open up your weakness and you talk about emotionally, oh yeah, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. So she'll feel a little bit less protected. So yeah, like at that time she'll think that, okay, I gotta bring masculine energy to the table because my man is weak. So yeah, that will contribute negative impact, like contribute in a negative way in that relationship. So what you will have is that a relationship which is broken apart within a couple of months. So yeah, do whatever you feel like doing, okay? I'm not gonna suggest you do this, do that, like because whenever I suggest you, I become toxic somehow. So yeah, like I'm just telling you facts. Do whatever you want, okay? Like I'm telling you facts that, okay, if you are opening up, you're gonna have a hard time in that relationship. It's gonna fail, most likely, from statistics.
Closely tied with this thing.
I mean, statistics means like I'm doing research on a bunch of things right now. I'm yet to publish the data, so you guys will have to wait and see.
Oh, men's mental health, guys. We've got to take men's mental health seriously. Don't bottle up your emotions, guys. You know that I've been the biggest mental health advocate of the space for the last few years. I'm the biggest face of like men's mental health, men's self-improvement, right? I've told you how important it is. I'm going to tell you something that's deeply controversial, and I know for a fact. Maybe you don't believe me just yet. We'll explain that I'm right here. You should bottle up your emotions in front of women. Everyone else is disagreeing. When everyone agrees on some narrative, it usually means that that narrative's fucking bullshit. So hear me out. Because right now in your mind, all of the conditioning, even though you don't realize it, but you've been brainwashed and conditioned by, the media and all this shit, right? So let me present my arguments, and then you can come to a conclusion yourself, right? Everyone's saying, don't bottle them up. Show every emotion to a woman possible. I'm saying bottle them up in front of women. You know what my argument is? Unbottle those emotions and show them to your male best friend. The guy...
I wouldn't say that, okay? Like, I may even get cancelled for this, okay? I'm not gonna say.
Who's so fucking close. I'm not talking about some dickhead friend.
But you understand the point.
You've got...
He made a really good point.
Slaps you in the back of the head
right
and
there.
makes fun of you or something. I'm talking about a close male friend that you can literally open up to. Mine sat right here, bro. I'm literally recording videos. He just sat there reading. What's up, bro? You need a friend like this. And maybe you don't have one just yet, but you can develop that. This is the kind of person that you can open up to. This is the person that you can literally break down in front of. If a family member of mine died, I wouldn't cry in front of my girlfriend. I'd cry in front of Sam. If I was going through some intense problem, even recently, honestly, like, I needed to book a doctor's appointment for something, which is like some kind of sickness that I've got. I won't go into detail, right? I told Sam about it, not my girl. And you might say, oh, well, this is toxic, but hear me out. The reason why is because this is like my brother in arms who's going to help me overcome this, who can help me overcome these problems. My girl really can't. If I have a problem of stress, of like, oh yeah, I'm leading a movement of 1 million people and it's really stressful, all she can do is, oh, come here. I tell Sam, it's okay, let's think of some solutions. Straight away, you probably agree, like telling the male friend that you have who's similar to you is probably going to be more practical and useful than telling like your feminine girl, right? If your girl's...
Because girls don't have the same experience as you, male, okay? So That's why, like, if you're telling them your problem, like, you have different sets of problem, they will have different sets of problems. So that's why, like, when they open up, like, you understand to some extent, but the best friend who can help her the most is her mother or your mother, because they're female. So yeah.
Really masculine, you're feminine, then of course I get fair enough, you can like open up to her. If she's like way more work and career driven than you are, and you're like a little bitch who thinks about her while she's thinking about work, fair enough. But usually those kinds of relationships end in resentments. The reason why not to show vulnerability to your girlfriend is because if she is a feminine woman, which you probably do want a woman to be feminine and submissive rather than her to dominate you, you want her to be submissive to you. That means that if she is full of feminine energy, she can only be totally attracted to and in love with a man who displays perfect masculine energy. When you show weakness and emotions and you cry and stuff, you're showing to her that you are not that perfect masculine man, which is fine for a little bit. But it can happen. Sometimes you can complain without realizing. Sometimes you can just cry a little bit because some bad shit's happened, that's fine. But if you start to do this consistently, if you start to act like a little bitch and you're
Yes, you're making a good point.
your head in her breast and ask her like, oh, you know, she's wiping away the tears, and this happens often, she will lose respect for you. This is seen as evil advice, but it's the true advice. The evil advice is the one telling you to ruin your relationship. Right now, you may disagree. Go and ask any guy who's actually done this, and he'll tell you the exact same thing. Consciously, and in the real world, she was so nice and so happy that she opened up, and slowly and surely, within a month, 2 months, their relationship ended. Conveniently, just coincidentally, maximum 2 months for every guy who ever opens up to his girlfriend. About 2 months later, either the relationship ends or she's cheating on the side. This is not to tell you to never speak about your problems. Again, because people will say, oh, he's telling people to bottle up and that leads to suicide. No.
Speaking of, as for your problem, it's fine, okay, but being emotional is a different thing. Like, I can handle the problem. That is bad.
This is not to tell you to bottle up your emotions. This is telling you to choose a different person to be emotional in front of. Because there is a person you can do which will actually be useful, and that is a male friend. But to your woman, as much as she says that she'd love for you to open up, she truthfully, subconsciously doesn't want to hear your problems. Why? Because she believes that you are that man. If she's in love with you and she's allowing you to fuck her, or to be there, if she's in love with you, she has this perception of you that you are that guy. That you are the guy that can solve any challenge, no problem. That you will get it done. That you will bear the stress on your shoulders.
Yeah, that's the thing. That
she thinks of you highly. Why would you ruin that? Why would you show her? Oh, by the way, you know this image that you had of me where I was like Superman and I could do all these things? I'm struggling, baby. I'm really struggling. I'm really sad. It's really hard. Life's really hard. It seems evil to say this. It really seems wrong to say this. But relationships, you probably agree with, were a lot better and longer lasting 100 years ago. Do you think that old school 1900s man wearing the top hat, do you think he was coming home like, oh, it's really hard, Or was he a man with a fucking strong hand grip, 4-digit testosterone, 1000 nanograms per deciliter? And if he did have some problems, he'd probably tell his fellow man. Your woman is not your therapist. Say that with me. My woman is not my therapist. You don't come to her with your problems. You come to her with your accomplishments, with your happiness, with your gift of masculine direction. You make her feel like a little girl around you. Because remember what I said before. There's a dynamic that you may not have heard before, and a lot of dickheads hear this and they're like, oh, incest. No. There is 2 dynamics that you can have in a relationship. It's either the father-daughter dynamic, where you are the leader, she is submissive, or it's the son-mother dynamic, where she's the leader and you are submissive. She's masculine, dominant, you're feminine, submissive. Which one do you want to be? The majority of men who've got good enough mental health, they don't want to be with a woman who dominates them. They want to be the dominator. They want to be the masculine person. That means that you need to be in the father-daughter dynamic. And yeah, sorry, just shut the fuck up. Incels, just shut the fuck up. It's just an analogy to help, right? But the perfect father burden his little girl with stress. Should a father come home and tell his little girl like, oh, you know, we're really broke. Oh, I need to get another job. No, of course not. In front of your little girl, you are Superman. You're going through some shit at work. You come home with a massive smile on your face. You pick a girl up and like twist her around the room and everything. You don't push the stress of your work, of your life, of your challenges, of your masculine endeavors onto this little girl. And when that girl gets a little bit bigger, things shouldn't change. You can disagree with this advice if you want. And when it comes up for you to be vulnerable, if you really want to, do it. Being vulnerable to your male friend is fine, but let's say vulnerable to your wife or to your girlfriend, right? If you don't believe me, do it. And keep this video in mind, keep my message in mind. And I guarantee as soon as you show vulnerability, you will see some really nice level of like connection and she's being really nice. And then just keep in mind what I said. Just see how she behaves towards you going forward. The first things will be very subtle. You'd probably be able to miss them unless you were really focused and thinking, she usually used to do that thing and she's not done it. Oh yeah, it's probably nothing. Oh baby, can you do the thing? Oh, she hasn't done it. Oh, okay. Hamza did say this, but no, Hamza's wrong. That was that toxic masculine guy. We've not had sex yesterday. Oh. And you just try and escalate, you're kissing her, she pushes you away a bit because she's tired, and it's the first time that she's been too tired to have sex with you. Oh, but you know, like, oh, I can't push her onto it. A little bit more secretive with her phone. Who's she calling out there? Why is she putting her phone face down? You can say this is toxic, this is reality. I think the toxic thing is to spread your stress to someone who doesn't really want it. What you need is stoicism. You need emotional control. You need to improve your mental health. So many guys are living with such shit mental health, and this is how this whole issue arises. They've got shit mental health, and they want to break down in front of their girls. And you want to know how I know about this? Because I was like this. In 2020, 2 years ago, through COVID, I was living with my girl at the time, like the girl I was dating. I'd been with her for 3 years. And when I tell you, this isn't an exaggeration, right? When I tell you that she saw me as like the ultimate alpha male for years, like fully, she was mine, right? I can give you some examples just so you know, right? She's down to meet me whenever. She helped me start my first business, which was like selling clothes on eBay. I'd be working a job and she would do all of it. It'd be a sale, boom, I send her a screenshot. She packages the piece of clothing in the packages, writes the post-it, the post address, takes it to the post office, pays with her money. I don't even pay her back and sends me the receipt and everything. I had a submissive girl, right? The girl who's totally my friend, who saw me as the alpha. Guess what? I listened to this advice 3 years later. Mental health went bad, COVID times and stuff, right? And I broke down in front of her. I cried, oh, it's really hard. For the first time ever, the sexual attraction in me diminished. So I know what I'm speaking about firsthand, because when you see a woman who totally adored you, when you see a woman who's totally submissive towards you, not
I'm telling you, if you do not trust him, go and do the same thing with your girl, and if see like what happens. Like majority of the cases, you'll have a broken relationship, so it's not gonna work out the
Yeah,
way
like
you
that.
want. Okay.
Anymore. That's a soul-crushing experience as a man, but it's a fantastic learning lesson. It happened because I slacked in my duty to be a masculine, stoic man, and I take responsibility. She wasn't a bad person in this. She was the same all throughout. It was that I changed. She saw of me as this perfect guy, this top-tier strong man, and I crumbled in front of her with little tears and like little bits of snot coming out my nose. Is that what you want, bro? You want your girl, the girl who sees you so highly, you want her to look at you while you're crying like a little boy and you got little snotty fucking goo coming out of your nose. Is that a good look? This advice that you keep hearing, men should show their emotions to their women, it leads to more relationships breaking down than it does to strengthen them. And when a relationship breaks down, that is what leads to men's mental health problems. That's what leads to men's suicide. The most common reason for men killing themselves is relationship problems. Soon it's going to change over to like financial problems, but relationship problems are still a leading cause. Relationship problems only happen when you don't act masculine and she doesn't act feminine. That's it. Literally, it's simple as that. Relationship problems come when you don't act masculine and she doesn't act feminine. When you fuck up and start being vulnerable, emotional, start crying and become feminine, she has to become masculine. Then the relationship just feels kind of disgusting. You feel weird around this girl who's more dominating than you are. She's more work focused than you are. She's focused on her studies whilst you're texting her thinking, when is she going to reply? That's not a good feeling. I seem like an evil bastard in this video, don't I? I seem so evil. I seem like I'm spreading some kind of knowledge that is going to make men suffer, and yet this video is going to save men from killing themselves. This video is going to save relationships. To control your emotions in front of a woman, you need to have at least decent mental health. Go watch my full mental health guide right now. Do the hard work, especially.
Oh my gosh, 1 hour 53 minutes long video. What the? Okay. Anyway, that's a really long video, interesting video. I think you guys should watch that and find some points where you can work on, and this will allow you to be successful in a relationship, become a masculine guy. And if you're a woman, then definitely suggest your man to watch this video, because a lot of guys would be like literally losers, wouldn't be working on themselves, and when they don't get advice like, oh yeah, you should watch this video, then yeah, it's gonna be impacting your relationship in a negative way. So I highly suggest you to watch the video. I highly suggest you to make sure you are doing the right thing at the right time. So yeah, like make sure everything is going in the right direction. Like don't be so emotional as a guy, and if you're a woman, like you can be emotional, that is fine, completely fine. Okay, that's all for today. I gotta say goodbye, and subscribe to this channel, hit the like button, share this video with your friends and family. Maybe they will have an idea as for what the hell is going on in this world and what you should be doing in a relationship in order to support each other as a man, as a woman. A woman should be feminine, a man should be masculine, and a man shouldn't be too emotional in a relationship. Yeah, there will be here and there will be like few times where you can show emotion, but it shouldn't be like early on in the relationship. At least spend like 10 years with her, and then maybe you might want to open up. So yeah, there is that. But still, I don't suggest, like even after 10 years, I don't suggest you to be emotional. Like if you're a man, you're facing different kinds of problem from compared to your woman, so she wouldn't be able to give you certain kinds of advices for like what the hell you should be doing here. So yeah, like male problem and female problem are completely two different things. So we should be working on something that will allow us to solve the problem in an efficient way, which is, if you're a male, try to look for the solution from a male friend if you are able to, or maybe from your father who has more experience than you. So yeah, that's the thing. And female, look for a female who will be able to give you certain kinds of advice. Maybe talk to your man first. Okay, talk to your man first, because men are very good at problem solving. So yeah, like talk to your man first, and then maybe go to your female if things doesn't work out, or go to your mother second, or father. Okay, and then maybe like if they're not capable of solving like any of these three, then maybe you might want to go to someone else. All right, so that therapy. All right, love you guys. 3000